And welcome back to Big Apple Hockey. I am your host for tonight, and apparently I'm screwed up. John Filkowski, you know me. Yeah, so you know me, and I am the host of the Final Buzzer, which is what we're doing tonight. And I've got a guest with me tonight, Mr. Marc Williams.
Hey, everybody. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. And I'm so glad when Phil gets to hear that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. When I mess something up, Marc can actually laugh at me now. So kind of forgot where the everything was there for a second. Isn't that fun? But you know what's more fun? Absolutely beating the piss out of the Devils on their home ice and winning another game 5-1. Yeah, out here in the fields, I fought for my meals. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. You're going to have to sing it. You're going to have to sing it and start it.
In the fields, I fought for my meals. Yeah, there we go. Oh, my God. Yeah, baby. Let's go. I will not be quitting my day job, but I will sing that every time they win. Put another puck up. Put another puck up in the display. That's two.
Everybody, put your pucks up for Phil.
Put your pucks up. I want to see Let's Go Rangers in that chat right now. Let's go Rangers. Everybody. I want to see it. Because that's what it's all about tonight. So the Rangers dominate another game 5-1, and you can't ask for anything more as a Ranger fan. They get that 1-0 lead, New Jersey, and you're thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe this is going to be a different game. New Jersey's come out hard. They're playing smarter. They're not giving up the same chances they gave up in the previous game. My cousin, yes, love it. Yes, absolutely. Love it from Denver. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate that. I friggin' love you guys. But yeah, we're looking at a different game supposedly, and then everything changed at the end of that first period. So, but I'm going to get right down to it because you know what I do. I don't have to explain it to everybody else. But for my cousins, we love you guys. This is called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Especially in Raiders podcast, Phil gets sexier than Clint Eastwood.
You know what? Prime Clint Eastwood was a real man rocket, so I'm not gonna go there just because those are some big shoes to fill, man. That's a lot of lofty expectations on me. So yeah. So this is a big game. And again, I'm not gonna have any bad or ugly. Like what is there bad or ugly to talk about in this game? Did you see anything?
The first period, it looked like the Devils were primed to play a more defensive game. Then the Rangers broke through, and it went right back to game one.
It was almost a mirror image. I mean, the only thing that they play, the ejections were ugly. Okay, I mean that's just the refs playing damage control, but to be expected in a 5-1 game with what 6 minutes left and scrums breaking out all over the place. You know what? I don't mind that. So I'm not even going to call that ugly. I would call that par for the course. So, but going on to our usual banner points here. Adam Fox, 2 more assists. Most points by a defenseman through his first 2 playoff games since John Carlson in 2018. We all know what happened to John Carlson in 2018, right? Yeah.
He won a Stanley Cup.
The Washington Capitals beat the Las Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm not going to talk about omens or anything like that. I'm not going to sit there and say that they're doing this or that, but that's some good company to be in because John Carlson is also another American-born defenseman and a real good puck mover at that as well. So Adam Fox, with another stellar game, joining some elite company. What did you see from this game?
Adam Fox has been complete as a defenseman in these playoffs. And I dare to say these words, Phil. He's been the best Rangers defenseman since Brian Leetch in 1994. Never mind 95, 97, 96. I mean, you're talking about all the years that Brian Leetch was amazing. Not good. He was amazing for the New York Rangers. And in 1994, he was the best player on the planet. And Adam Fox is trying to replicate that right now.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think Adam Fox right now is playing at a higher level than he played during his Norris season. I think he is playing the absolute best hockey of his career right now at this moment. I don't think there's a better all-around defender in the NHL playoffs. Cale Makar has not looked great in Colorado. You don't have Erik Karlsson in his 102 points or whatever, but it's also his negative 48 goal differential at even strength.
Yeah.
It's just, and you know what? I like this comment from Victor. Very easy to compare Foxy to Leetch with the way that Foxy is playing right now. You're not out of pocket for saying that. And that's how good Adam Fox has actually been. And just for playing defense from my perspective, he's not only making the flashy plays, but every little possible thing that you can do right, every little nuance or every little microcosm of a play, Adam Fox is just doing it all perfectly to its team. The pass out of the zone, the fake out, the little, I'm going to just think I'm going to drop this puck behind my back, and then I'm just going to skate the other way and break away from the forward. He's doing that. And everything that he's doing, he is playing chess while everybody else is playing chess.
Yeah, he really is.
He is.
Phil, I got to say this. A friend of mine and a teammate for the last 10 years, a friend of mine for the last 15, Chris Rupp, said to me, Mark, I coached against Adam Fox. That guy is going to be great for the New York Rangers. And nonetheless, I think great is an understatement. He just does everything. Remember when Marc Stahl was a rookie and every comment would be, oh, he would just make a quick pivot and move away from a guy. Marc Stahl, as a rookie that everybody's impressed with, is nothing compared to Adam Fox.
Yeah, and I remember, because I was a big Marc Stahl fan back then, and then just seeing him with Sudbury and with the Canadian World Junior team, and just watching how poised he was, and how all the commentary on Marc Stahl was, he looks like a veteran. He looks 10 years ahead of his stature. He looks like he's a 10-year veteran in this league. Adam Fox looked like that from day one, but he looked like that not only on defense, but offense too. And now he's taking this to another level, especially after his Norris year in 2021. You thought, how much better can this guy possibly get? We're seeing it right now. And this team can go as far as Adam Fox takes them. If Adam Fox has decided that, hey, I'm going to pull Brian Leetch in 1994, and I realize that I have to play better defensively to take my game to the next level, then if that's what's happening, then this team will go far.
I had a couple. I had a friend of mine who wanted to say, let's go Rangers. But I do have to say this. Filk, you're 100% right. And look at what Fox was in his first 4 games in the first series against the Pittsburgh Penguins last year. He didn't look like he was ready to be a playoff performer. And then what happens? Look at him this year. Like, this is what experience does. And the Rangers are showing their experience in spades over the Devils.
Like I said, young and experienced team. I was watching the game with one of my best friends, and I told him after they took that 3-1 lead and they went into the third period or the second intermission, I said, this is a young and fragile group. And they do not have an answer for the Rangers right now. And they have a coach that is not great at making adjustments. So now they're even in worse shape now than they were last night because the other night. Because now you go back to the Garden and you are going to have an absolutely foaming at the mouth, rabid fan base that's going to hear the Who, and they are going to come out and they are going to scare the living shit out of that Devils team. It ain't good for them. It ain't good. So to go back to our Wednesday show, my opinion of this series has absolutely changed. Absolutely changed.
I fully expected the Devils to win this game. The Rangers won this game and won it running Roy. And Phil, before I say these next few words, I do have to tell the 50 people in attendance to make sure that they like, share, and subscribe. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do this one in the middle. Appease the YouTube gods and like, share, and subscribe.
Please. Like, share, and subscribe. I mean, Phil, yeah. I'm getting told I have a layup here, bud.
Phil, let me ask you this. Do you think you're getting 1994 vibes anymore? Where it's like they won 5-1 in game 1, 5-1 in game 2 against an opponent that had their number in the regular season. And it's really looking like game 1 in 94, 6-0. Game 2, 6-0. If they wallop the Island, the Devils. It was the Islanders back then, everybody. Sorry. 5-1 again? Like, how do you not get goosebumps starting to think about this? This team is for real. And a lot of people are predicting the Stanley Cup finals. And here's the thing. They're not Edmonton, who struggled in the first 2 games.
No.
They have resoundingly said, we're here. But I'm just a guest host with your. The man is going to go on with more of his notes.
No, and I think this next note, because I'm with you on that. I am getting a little bit of those vibes, but I think this next note is going to make you very happy. Chris Kreider becomes the 5th player in NHL playoff history to have 2 consecutive games with 2 power play goals. I do have to edit that. I do apologize. Just because I didn't put the word playoff in there. Sorry about that. So
that's okay.
NHL playoff history to have 2 consecutive games with 2 power play goals. That's incredible.
That's okay. We don't have a Phil messed up meme ready to go right now.
No, not yet. Not yet. You know what? And I love what I'm seeing right now because the Chris Kreider that I've been calling for all year, the Chris Kreider we saw last year, I think he's here. I really do.
Yeah.
And he's getting on the forecheck. He's forechecking hard. He's winning the loose puck battles. He's in front of the net again. He's causing havoc. The Devils defense don't have a guy that's going to move him out of the way. They have no answer for him. They don't. And you know what the scary part is? Mika Zibanejad hasn't even taken off yet. He's really not that much of a factor in this series.
No.
Like, wait till he starts getting to go. Like, wait. Okay, so when he starts going, who do you have that's going to answer him? Huh?
No one. Simply
No.
put, as far as that goes. Look, the Devils so far, Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier are going to have great careers. We know this. But right now, Zibanejad been so much better than anything else. And also, I have to add on this that, Vinny Trocheck has been a better second line center than Nico Hischier's been for the Devils. And when you look at what they're contributing right now, Kreider, if you looked at the Big Apple Hockey Twitter page today, Kreider plus playoffs equals money. And Chris Kreider is one of the best money players for the New York Rangers in their history. If you don't believe me, look at his playoff goal history. I mean, the Capital Series in 2015 is enough to make you go, all right, Chris Kreider's there. Game time goal, game 5. Game time, first goal in game 6, and the goal with less than a second left. 5 goals, and Panarin doesn't have a point. It's unbelievable.
How?
It's unbelievable.
5 goals, and Artemi Panarin, arguably the team's best player, didn't have a single point in this game. That tells me that the Devils do not have an answer for the Rangers' depth. You know what? I like this comment, though, from Dave the Dude. Panarin gains the zone at will. He does, and he has. And the Devils, you know what? He's using his speed to back that defense off. And that's one of the biggest things, one of the biggest difference makers in this series. The Devils, during the regular season, were doing everything they can to take away the middle of the ice from the Rangers. The Rangers done that to them. And the Rangers forwards are now skating through the middle of the ice with the same ease that the Devils forwards did during the regular season. It's a complete role reversal.
And you know what? That's the best part about all these additions, because Tarasenko being on the team has taken pressure off Panarin. Kane on the team is taking pressure off Panarin. The elevation of the youth is taking pressure off Panarin. Panarin, we talked about this the other day, Phil, and you talked about this after game 1. You said Patrick Kane just has to be a guy. Guess what? So does Artemi Panarin. And Artemi Panarin, being a guy, you do your job, you back the defense up, you're nothing better than a fourth liner. I mean, you and Riley Smith, back when Gerard Gallant went to the Stanley Cup Finals with an expansion team. Like, come on. That's all they got to do. Everybody do your job. And sky's the limit right now with this team.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to just, because Steven came up with this one. Only Wayne Gretzky has more assists in the first 2 games of the postseason than Adam Fox let that. Wow. Wow, that's an incredible stat right there.
And by the way, quick question. Is it Wayne Gretzky as an Oiler or a King, or Wayne Gretzky as a New York Ranger?
Or is it Wayne Gretzky in general, or is it Wayne Gretzky as a Ranger? Because Wayne Gretzky...
Actually, you know what? It can't be Wayne Gretzky as a Ranger. Because, as I said, Wanger, Jesus. Because his first 2 games as New York Ranger, they were shut out, and then they shut out the Florida Panthers 2-0. Yep. So it can't be.
It's Wayne Gretzky in general. You're right.
Like, Steven, that's an amazing...
Wayne Gretzky they call him in 1981 and in 1987. That's incredible.
I forgot. What's Steven's nickname?
Stat Boy Steven.
You know what? He probably doesn't know stats.
No, he doesn't know puck.
But, Phil, concluding this for you, Chris Kreider is one of the biggest clutch scorers for the New York Rangers in their history. And he's done it since day 1. I remember, never mind the Ottawa Senator game where he got his, yes, where he got his
5
first
goals
NHL
straight
goal.
out of college.
One of my favorite moments with Chris Kreider is when I did an article on, I think it was hockeytickets.net, I think it was called, back when I was a blogger. I did a thing called Along Came a Kreider, and it's because of his game 1, game-winning goal against the Washington,
Capitals.
Generals, the Capitals. Yeah, clearly they're the Capitals. Sorry, country music is screwing with my brain right now.
Country music will screw with your brain. Sorry, everybody with country fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Chris Kreider is money in the playoffs, regardless of what he does in the regular season. And in the regular season, he was still damn good.
Cha-ching.
I acquiesce to you, good sir.
Showtime is officially on Broadway. And you were talking about that, about what I said the other day. He doesn't have to be the guy. He could just be a guy. But tonight, he was the man.
Oh, God, yeah.
The man tonight. And that goal is vintage Showtime, Patty Kane. Just taking a puck from 2 players by himself, going back all the way down the ice, getting it, and then you think he's going across the Kreider. Going to give him that hat trick, right? Nope.
Let's go, Islanders.
Chris, he would. He would.
And by the way, I do think for anybody listening, I think the Islanders will win the next 2 games. But keep going, Phil.
I think the Islanders are winning at least one of them. You know what? I don't know if they're going to take 2. Teuvo Teravainen being out of that series, that's a big boost for the Islanders. So, but that Patrick Kane backhand goal was just okay. I'm going to go back to 2010 to 2016 Patrick Kane and just oh my God, just what. Like I don't know how to describe that. I think on YouTube that type of just violence would be banned. I really do think that type of violence would be banned. But that was an incredible goal, and I popped like crazy for that. And it just, man, he is here. He is here, and you know what? We all criticized him the other day when we were saying, you know what, we want more from him, we want more. I think someone may have been listening.
Yeah. But again, we were saying it best. He's just trying to be another guy. That's all he's trying to be. And now, when you're just a guy, you're relaxing. You're the weight of the world isn't on your shoulders. And Patrick Kane is starting to feel it. Like that pass that led to the second Kreider goal. Oh, chef's kiss. Because it was really a pass. It wasn't a shot, Phil.
No,
and then
you're right.
That's what, but he's moving the puck around. All these things he's doing. It's been incredible.
Marc embracing the White Claw.
Well, you know what? When you're 45, you got to diet, guys.
Amazing goal. I owe Kane an apology when I admit he was wrong. Yeah, he had it going. He did NYR for life. He did. We were all wrong. But it just, for me, when I looked at that play, and he made that play to Kreider for that second goal, I saw his feet moving like I had never seen his feet move as a Ranger. Like, he just had it tonight. And I hope that this is the start, just the beginning. Because if this is just the beginning, the Rangers are going to go a very long way. They're going to have a very deep run. So,
yeah.
So, we're going to move on from Patty Kane. And this has been the big difference in the series for me, is defense. The Rangers have had a plan. They've had a plan to take away the middle of the ice. They were another great defensive effort from this team. you could tell that the Devils players are frustrated. They are scared. They're flat out. They're scared right now. They're frustrated. They're scared. They don't have an answer. They keep trying to go to the middle. The Rangers are taking that away. They'll give them the outside, but they are taking away the middle. And the Devils just don't have an answer, and they can't make the adjustment. And the only goal against, coming on a power play, the only goal that was scored in 1 was a penalty shot goal. The Rangers have outclassed the Devils at 5-on-5. And it's all because of defense. And the Rangers are getting their chances in the zone, and they're converting, but they're also getting back. Mark, I just removed himself.
Oh, no, don't worry, I'm still here.
No, I know you're here. I can hear you. But, so the Rangers are still at 5-on-5. They have just been microphone for a little bit until he comes back, because we're getting a lot of background noise from that. Sorry, everybody. But they are just playing great defensive hockey. And if this is the way that they're going to play, then they are going to be a problem for anyone they face. Anyone. And I'm gonna go to this comment here from Mel Bester 9. I said on the show the other day that, and I'm gonna highlight this one from Joe Shane Train too. Love that name, just because I love the Giants. I love Joe Shane and Brian Daboll. But a worse Ranger team last year beat a better Carolina Hurricanes team this year or last year. And I think Marc is coming back. I don't know what he's doing. Now I can see him. I'm going to add you.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was trying to get the TVs to switch behind me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but a better – the Rangers last year were the worst team, beat a better Carolina Hurricanes team that plays very similar to this Devils team. And if the Rangers found a way – and not only that, but the Carolina Hurricanes have a better coach than Lindy Ruff, too, in Rob Brindamore. The Rangers have figured them out. They figured them out. And if you think that this series is just magically going to change in the Devils' favor, got another thing coming. So I just wanted to highlight those comments. But this just a great defensive effort. Every little attention or every little detail has been paid attention to on defense. And it's just a matter of time until the Rangers, I think, close this one out. I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself, but I can't see how the Rangers lose the series right now.
Phil, can I say two things to you?
Sure.
One, another thing coming, one of the best Judas Priest songs.
Yes.
But the other one is, I said this to my brother tonight, I want you to try to debunk this for me. Is this the most talented New York Rangers team you've ever seen?
I'm gonna have to say yes. And the only team that I would ever argue against them would have been the 91-92 team.
Correct.
You had a Hall of Fame center in Marc Messier. You had a very good young second line center in Darren Turcotte.
Correct.
You had a young, great two-way center in Sergei Nemchinov. Messier,
first year rookie, 30 goal scorer.
30 goal scorer rookie on a third line, Sergei Nemchinov. Third line.
Yes.
You had Tony Amonte, a rookie 30-goal guy who scored almost 70 points, who finished second in Calder voting that year. You had a 100-point Brian Leach, the fifth defenseman in NHL history to do it. You had a great goaltending tandem in a 1A, 1B between Richter and Van Biesbroek. They won a President's Trophy. But I can tell you right now that this team is more talented, even with Gartner. Mike Gartner was on that team too. John Ogrodnik was on that team. And he was a 50-goal, 100-point guy in Detroit with Steve Yzerman. But
he was 30 goals with the Rangers, if I recall correctly.
No, I
89.
That year, I'm not sure if it was that year he did, but I think he had like a 40-goal year with the Rangers a couple of years before that.
89-90.
Yeah. So that team was very deep up and down, but this is the deepest and most talented Rangers team I've ever seen. I mean, you bring in Vladimir Tarasenko, Patrick Kane, you added to that offense already, then you have these young kids that are ready to break out and be star players. Then you have arguably the best defenseman in the league. You have a guy like Ryan Lindgren with him, and then you have a young budding star in Keandre Miller. You have a veteran captain, tough stay-at-home defenseman in Jacob Trouba, a solid stay-at-home guy, Nico Mikkola, and another young cornerstone defender in the making, and Braden Schneider, plus one of the top 3 best goalies in the league. I would say, yeah. I'm taking this team over 2012. Without a shadow of a doubt, Mel Bester. Without a shadow of a doubt.
And when we say this, you got to understand how good the 2012 team was. It lost to a Pittsburgh Penguin team that went on to win 11 games in a row and the Stanley Cup. And they beat a Chicago Blackhawks team that won 11 games in a row and not the Stanley Cup. As a matter of fact, Phil, it's still weird to me that in those 2 years has the longest streak in Stanley Cup playoff history with the Blackhawks, then the Penguins, and then the Canadiens following right after them. 11 games in a row. It's still weird.
Yeah, I mean, I always said that the Rangers in 92 matched up very well against Chicago. Yes, Chicago was a big physical team. You had Roenick, you had Chelios, you had Steve Smith, Keith Brown. You had a bunch of guys that were really, really good, tough, big, tough defenders. Michel Goulet was still he still was productive offensively.
Still
Steve
good,
Larmer,
yeah.
Steve Larmer. Christian Rutu, Dirk Graham, guys that were Selke caliber players. Troy Murray. Up and down, they had great defensive guys and grit. But I think the Rangers would have skated circles around them in that series. I really do, because Pittsburgh's high flying offense did that to them. And yes, Pittsburgh had talent out the wazoo, and they had the size and the strength. You had size in Lemieux, Yager, Stevens, Tocchet, and then you had skill like Francis, Mullen. I think Marty Straka was a part of that team at that point. But this Rangers team is something else. They really are. We're watching a hell of a team. I think they're going to go really, really far.
Yeah. Phil, this might be the most talented New York Rangers team I've ever seen. I'm even going to go over 2015. A lot of people overlook 2015 as a great Rangers team. Even over 2012, they were a scrappy team. 2014, still kind of a little bit scrappy, but with talent. 2015, they had 3 great lines and a very good 4th line. And this team is so much better than all of them.
Yeah,
well, yes.
I didn't like the suspension for Graves. I thought it was stupid. He said Lemieux broke his wrist. Okay, Lemieux's playing with a broken wrist the whole time. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. I think it was a sprain more than anything. We'll move on from that. Speaking of young talent, Kaapo Kakko, possibly his best playoff game, had a beautiful goal. Guess what? Who has more playoff points this year? Kaapo Kakko or Jack Hughes?
Right now, it's Kaapo Kakko.
Yeah. So that picture of the two of them together at the draft, where Jack Hughes is scoring 1 and Kaapo Kakko is going 2. 2 points to Jack Hughes is 1, and Jack Hughes got his on a penalty shot. So you know what? I'll take that. I'll take Kaapo Kakko. He was a beast tonight, all over the place. along the board, taking the puck away. Just a great 200-foot game. And Capo Caco, that line is coming together again, that kid line. They are here again, and he is a big, big part of it. Alexei Lafreniere has probably his best playoff game last game. Capo Caco has his best playoff game. Is Filipino going to have his best playoff game next game? Something to keep an eye on. Just something to keep an eye on. I mean, you know what? You have a young player that's maligned because he's a second overall pick. He's a top 3 pick in what is a pretty good draft, and you're expecting him to be the favorite franchise. He doesn't come along that way. Not right away. Has a 40-point year in his 4th season. Yeah, 20, 21, 22. It's a 40-point year in his 4th year. It looks like he's finally turning the corner, and he knows what it is to be that productive player every night on campus. They are the Young Bucks line, though. For everybody that are AEW fans, the Young Bucks.
Now, by the way, Phil, I do have to say this because I repeated it over and over again. Size takes time to develop. And when you get a guy like Capocaco, his size really is starting to show. And if it wasn't last year, I've said this to you, not so much in public on Big Apple Hockey Podcast, but wait, Steven wants to say, I want us to call the kid line until they're 36, 37-year-old, and we're winning the 5th Stanley Cup. By that time, they're hopefully they're the first line.
Yeah, hopefully at that point.
But Phil, size takes time to develop. And I don't think once you get Kako the puck, you cannot get it away from him. And give him 1 or 2 more years, it'll be a massacre of what he'll be able to do to other guys.
I like this post from Joe because I do think that's correct. I mean, you've seen that a lot. The 3 of them stick up for each other a lot. They play hard for each other. They fight for each other, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Romanel, if Sid can be the kid at 38, then the kid line can stick forever. I mean, he's not 38, Sid, but he's 35. But yeah,
well, also,
well taken.
Sid the kid rhymes. Eventually, the kid line's going to grow up.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a good one from Mackenzie. Devils really need a tough guy. Their guys act tough, but you won't find Goodrow and Trouba. Yeah. I think that's part of the big difference in this series too is, they do have that grit. They do have that toughness. So,
well, you know what? I think the Devils do have that toughness. Eric Holla is that toughness. Miles Wood is that toughness. It's just
not tough enough.
Those guys, yeah, I know. Phil, those guys are not performing as tough, if you will, with quotes, as Trouba, Goudreau, and a lot of these guys. There's another goal that just happened.
Yeah.
Vegas scored.
Vegas scored? Okay. There
yeah.
You go.
I think they just got their first lead in series. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know this guy's very happy about Capo Caco, one of our 2 resident Finns.
By the way, Tomas, you missed it yesterday. They were trying to get me to pronounce Finnish names. I chose all the easy ones I could ever think of. I believe I thought about you guys too. I'm going. How do I say your name? Soyanen. Is that right?
Teemu Hartikainen. Get Mark the hardest Finnish names of Jesus Christ. Reijo Ruotsalainen.
Jesperi Kakaniemi is still the worst. He's still the worst. That's still the worst name to try to pronounce. I still think I got it, but I'm not sure.
When your team's best defender is a 7-foot-tall ghost, how can your team be tough?
I mean, and I can't help but say this in a different way, Phil. I think if the Rangers win this series quickly in 5, you're looking at a different outlook in the Stanley Cup playoffs completely.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more with that. Couldn't agree more with that. I like another good one from Mackenzie with Schneider going in and making. And you know what? I said to my friend when that happened, that's why the Rangers jumped up to get Schneider. That's why. Yep. Not just the fight, but the toughness. The fact that and John Davidson said it himself. That's the type of guy you want on your team come playoff time. Ooh,
actually, I think
I'm bookmarking this one. Oh, I'm bookmarking this one right here. Joe Shane Train calling a minimum 65 plus from Capo Caco next year. I am here for that, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
By the way, just in case if you guys want, we have Big Apple Hockey Tricker hats available. Click it on the link below. It is in the chat. Go right up to the eBay store. Order one right now.
Absolutely. Help support the channel. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Spread that Big Apple Hockey virus. Let everyone know where we're at.
I'll send down the hand of God one more time.
Oh! And I definitely want to go through some of the other ones that I have here. Saw people talking about this before. Gerard Gallant deserves credit for outclassing Lindy Ruff so far. And and that's what I was talking about when I said that Carolina plays a very similar game to New Jersey. They like to clog up the zone, but they also like to send their defenders and pin you in your own zone, and they're very aggressive in that regard. The best way to beat that is clean breakouts and fast transition. And the Rangers have had a plan to stop that from happening. And when they've been pinned in, they've handled it, and they've gotten out of the zone, and then they've gone down there and scored. So you know what? You got to give a lot of credit to Gerard Gallant for the way that he has absolutely just schooled Lindy Ruff.
And you know what? You don't think Gerard Gallant is a great tactician, and he's. You think of Lindy Ruff as actually a great tactician, but you know something? I think he's actually done the job he's needed to do, and that's what makes him as good as what he's been doing. Actually, I think I got an echo, Phil. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, I criticize a lot of his decisions, and I've flat out called a lot of them boneheaded.
Both of us have.
Yeah, and all of us have. And it's frustrating to see some things. And, now certain players that have caused a lot of that ire are now gone, and the other guys are here, and they're actually doing well. But it's just – I love what I'm seeing right now in terms of the way that he's absolutely handling Ruff. And Lindy Ruff doesn't have the adjustment. Lindy Ruff does not have the adjustment, and that's a problem. Ooh, Jack Eichel gets his first career playoff goal. That's going to piss Marc off. So, yeah, I can tell you right now, I love the way that Gallant has handled it. I think that he just needs to just keep the foot on the pedal, and I think this team just needs to continue. Ooh, Seattle almost scored. I'm watching the Seattle-Colorado game. But you know what? You have a game plan that's working. He just needs to stick with it. Just needs to reinforce it, and he just needs to let the players continue to do what they're doing. It looks like the leadership group has really come together. Jacob Trouba, he's playing good so far. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints about him, but Gallant has really been like his game plan has just been perfect. Perfect. But I'm going to move on from Gerard Gallant and just picture this as rounders for all you movie fans. We are Teddy KGB to Chris Drury. Pay that man his money. And I know my impression is terrible. John Malkovich, just so good at doing that. I don't know why, but he is.
Well, because, Phil, I can answer that for you. When John Malkovich says anything, he emphasizes every syllable. It's he beat me straight up. Pay that man his money.
He check. He fucking beat me. And yeah, I mean, Vladimir Tarasenko, 2 openers in this series. And it's not just that the fact that he's just scoring in the playoffs, but he wants to be in New York. He wants to be here. Like all of his interactions, practice, and off the ice, and all the content you see, you could just see the gleam in his eyes about this place. He loves it. He loves being here. Just move whatever mountains you have to move, Chris. Move them. I have a friend that actually knows Chris Drury personally, has his number. I am going to tell him to tell Chris Drury, and I think you know what friend I'm talking about. You met him. So I'm going to tell him to tell Chris Drury to move all the mountains that he has to move to keep Vladimir Tarasenko.
Phil, I got to argue this with you only because we've discussed this a couple different times on the main show. And that's who is the guy that's going to blink and be a New York Ranger on the cheap? Is it going to be Vladimir Tarasenko at 31? Or is it going to be Patrick Kane at 34?
It's going to be.
I don't know which one's going to do it.
The only problem I worry about is the fact that Tarasenko might want too much money.
31 years old, a 5-year, $8 million deal is not out of his reach.
Can you get him to sign for $6 million? That's the thing. Can you get him to sign for $6 million?
And here with his friend, maybe. But I think it's a 2-year deal.
That's the problem. So for me, he's had a couple of injuries. He looks like he's over those. And that's a problem. He only had 50 points in 69 games, 18 goals, the lowest of his career since his rookie year in 2013. He has not been under 20 any other year. Oh, actually, I should say 2021. Any other year in a full year, I should say. Because 2020, he only played 10 games. He had 10 points that year, 3 goals in 10 games. 2021, 4 goals in 24 games. But all of his other full seasons, 20 goals or better, except for his rookie year. But that was only a 38-game season. So I don't think Vladimir Tarasenko is going to get $8 million a year. I don't see that happening. But here's the thing. Can you convince him to say, hey, you haven't had a great year this year. Your last 3 years have been injury riddled and with you want to take $5 million in New York and play a part of a minor win? Or do you want to go get your bag and go back? That is loud. That is extremely loud. I don't know what that is.
I still think it's all the background noise I'm dealing with.
No,
I'm trying to deal with it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries.
It's the TNT game that's right now. going off right now.
Sounds like you're on a spaceship. Oh my god! But yeah, that's the thing.
I'm in a good bar. They got a bunch of different games on right now. I got the Golden State game on. I got the Colorado game on, and the Las Vegas game on, and the Mets game on. Because let's not forget, it's still baseball season. But
yeah, this deserves this.
Well, to be fair.
By the way, I just introduced my girlfriend a letter, Kenny, and she loves it.
It's funny because what?
The Jets just tied it.
Ooh.
Foot.
Gonna move on from that. I have two more. Alexa, play Baba O'Reilly by The Who, because we are coming back Saturday night up 2-0 in this series, and it's time to make the Devils pick their pants on MSP Ice. Yeah. So the Devils are going to walk into that building. The fans are going to be folding at the mouth for another big win. The Rangers come out and score that first goal, especially if it's quick. Goodbye, confidence. Goodbye, Devils. The Rangers, if they want to put this series away, they want to put it away quick, feed off of that crowd energy. Thanks for kicking off my Alexa.
I do have to say this. Phil said that twice on the Wednesday show. I was looking at my Alexa to go, did you turn on? Did you turn on? No, it did. All right.
I just made his Alexa play Baba O'Reilly. I think Matt is embellishing this, and I think he just put it on himself. I mean, I don't blame you, Matt, but, I mean, yeah. And that's the thing. They look demoralized. The Rangers absolutely need to stomp on their throats. I am with you 100% on that, Diane. 100%. So, it just – you come out, you get that early lead, you really put the Devils in a big, big hole. And then it's really gut check time for the New Jersey Devils. And I don't think they answer the challenge. I think the Rangers then take the kill shot, and that's it. If the Rangers win Game 3, they are sweeping that series.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I tried to equate this to the 2008 series, where the Rangers won 2-0, and then John Madden OT winner Game 3, and then the Rangers won Game 4 and OT winner Game 5. Scored by?
Oh, wait, what? I'm sorry, I was texting.
The OT winner in Game 5, 2008. Scored by?
Wasn't that Scott Gomez?
No.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
The other offseason acquisition.
What's that?
The other offseason acquisition.
Chris Drury. Oh, that's right.
Chris Drury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. No, you're right.
I mean, and by the way, I got a great trivia question for Anthony when we do our next show. But looking at the series, Phil, if it mirrors 2008, that greatly impacts the Rangers, because I think Carolina Islanders are going 7, and if you tell me it comes under 6 games for Rangers Devils, we're looking at something that might set the stage for a Stanley Cup season. And am I being bold in saying that? Of course I am.
Yeah.
Because nobody would be stupid enough to say that except this idiot. But you know what? You need a short series before you get to the long ones. You can't go 7-7-7 unless you're the LA Kings of 2014 who were able to do it. And they're the rare team that were able to do it. They went 7-7-7-5.
Yeah, did make sense.
Did make sense. And by the way, when you look at the Stanley Cup Finals, they won 7 games anyway. It just happened to be they played 2 extra ones.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, especially with multiple overtimes.
Yeah.
And I got one more, and it has to be said. Are Devils fans still going to heckle Igor? You didn't learn your lesson after game 1. You didn't. So you went and you did it again, like a bunch of idiots. You went and you did it again. So I hope you do. If it makes it back to 5, I hope they do it again and the Rangers shit down their throats again. Again. I don't understand it. I really don't. It's just like that one guy that I quote tweeted who said, "Oh well, the Devils fans should heckle Igor because Pittsburgh did it." And they got it. Yeah, like, how did that series end, bud? How did that series end?
How did the Penguin series end?
Yeah, exactly. How did that series end?
Phil, can I approach this from a different angle? Where did he grow up? Russia?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna psych out a Russian goaltender? I know we have our stereotypes about them. But the Russian goaltenders are so mentally strong now. You look at them right now in the league. Who's the best goalie in the league right now? Go.
Either Andrei Vasilevsky or Igor Shesterkin. Or if you want, Ilya Sorokin's up in there.
And they're all Russian. And maybe Linus Ullmark right behind them. They're not going to be psyched out. They're mentally prepared for this. Come on.
You know what the funniest part about it is to me? Is that you have a goaltender that's average. Just maybe slightly above average. Playing behind what has been a good regular season team. Then you're playing one of the 3 best goaltenders in the league. A guy who was an absolute wall last year, putting up video game numbers. That's the goaltender that you want to heckle?
And also the goaltender that is putting up those numbers again if you look at his last 2 months.
Yeah. And you know what? yeah, like you said, playing in the KHL prepares you for actual war. Oh, my God. No, they did not chase Vitek Vanacek out of net, MYR for life. They did not. But it would have been nice because then you would have had to see either Akira Schmid or Mackenzie Blackwood. And Mackenzie Blackwood, I might have a better chance of winning a playoff game for the Rangers than Mackenzie Blackwood would have for winning it for the Devils.
Phil, let me go one step further and saying this, that Vitek Vanacek has not averaged under 4 in a goals against average in any playoff season. Now, granted, one of them he played 1 game. One of them he played 2 games. And he's 2 games in this. And he's averaging well over 4 goals a game. Phil, I don't know if he's ready for prime time.
I don't think he's that great of a starter. I don't. I think he played well for the Devils during the regular season, but I think his success came because the Devils were great as a team. And that works against worser teams. The Devils remind me a lot of the 2020 Rangers. Young, up and coming, had some offense.
Talent.
And then the Rangers had a much better goaltender, obviously. But they play a lot of high-flying hockey.
3 goalies in that season were pretty talented.
Yeah, 3 goalies that were pretty talented. But that doesn't work in the playoffs. And then now you're gonna heckle one of the 3 best goaltenders in the league right now and act like you have what it takes to beat them in net. I don't. I don't understand it. I really don't. But hey, New Jersey, you do you. We're just gonna keep stomping you out.
Phil, I was in New Jersey, and they got great fans. I'm not going to argue that. But on the other hand, I do have to say this. Igor, you got to try to heckle Igor. The guy is mentally strong enough to do this. Now, his first 4 games against the Penguins last year, different story. When it got home and he was facing elimination, he shut it down. Now, it took a 2-0 lead in Game 5, and then him eventually shut it down. 2-0 deficit in Game 6 for him to eventually shut it down. And he learned what it took to be a playoff goalie. Devils fans, use your brains. This guy knows what it takes. You have to learn what it takes.
And they haven't yet. They haven't. But that is all for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to go through a lot of your comments now. I've started quite a few, so we'll play a little catch-up afterwards. Salvatore, I love this reference because I'm a big wrestling fan, and Kevin Nash, big sexy, would be very proud of this. Devils got jackknife powerbombed. They absolutely did. David Dude, one of the guys that's going to know about that critical Kane game 1, felt like it was forward. Now he showed why he's one of the great. Yes, you're right. Now, Michael says this postseason has less stressful than the regular season postseason. Love that comment too, because that is the absolute truth. David fan, terrible line, backhand clear, left the only double goal. One mistake. Right, Eagle playing 10 made a smile. I can't remember the last time they've had 2 relatively easy games. It's weird. I can't either. You'd probably have to go back to the 2008 Double Series. Really think about it.
Really? What about last year versus the Tampa Bay Lightning?
That second one wasn't as easy.
It wasn't as easy, but that's also because it wasn't easy because Nick Paul scored late. Like, those were easy games.
You know what? The first game was a laugher. The second game was
not.
It wasn't. The Rangers still won convincingly, but not a laugher. These are 2 laughers. These are 2 absolute laughers, and I can't remember 2 laughers since like the 2008 Devil Series. And if you want to go back before that, I would say maybe the 94 first round against the Islanders, where they had 3 of them in a row.
Oh my goodness, my audio has been terrible. Apparently,
yeah, it has. B-Rye, honestly, this reminds me of the Thrashers series 12 years ago. Actually, it was longer than that. That series is now 16 years ago. 16 years ago. Roman Ellis says incredible things. Fox 25. It's only getting better. Yeah. He's just that good. And we are for life. Kako playing like a man, getting physical. We were just saying that before. Kurt coming in saying we got 4 lines rolling. 4th line's been good too. 4th line's been really good. They've been solid defensively, even though they didn't get a point tonight. You're going to be shaking when Baba is blasting in the arena. Yep, I wish I was there for that. Dom C's first goal in Game 3 will dismantle whatever the Devils have left of their confidence. Colorado just went ahead and took their first lead in the series. 3-2. Nick saying, scary part is I don't think the Devils have played that bad. I don't think they played good either. I can't say they played good. Let's go Rangers. That Kane goal was nuts from Chris T. Matador saying Zibanejad is playing Selke caliber defense. Yep. Greg Waller's by far the scariest team. I don't think I've seen you before, Greg. Welcome to the show. Maddie saying we have to put them away in 4 or 5. Don't give them any hope. I would agree. Joe Graves, I love this comment here. How can you say Ruff doesn't make adjustments? Last game, 0 shots on the power play. Obviously, he's inspired his professional hockey team to shoot the puck. I'm going to get rid of that one because that was a comment from Sean about the the 5 points, 5 goals in Panarin not having a point. Age restricted and demonetized. That was Maddie talking about my comment about the violence on YouTube. Joe Shane Train saying, I feel we could beat the Canes and the Isles too. And last but not least, Kurt with the super like. Thank you very much, Kurt. The Devils could use some lessons from the Shamrockettes. We're gonna have Marianne and Betty Ann, chirping each other about their mitts. Hey, Marianne, your mitts are dusty after you're singing Celebration Man.
Your mitt looks like Babe Ruth after he spit a bunch of tobacco in it. Your mitt looks like Babe Ruth after he spit a bunch of tobacco. One of the best things I've ever done is I've introduced my girlfriend to Letterkenny, and she loves it.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm trying to go back to all the comments here. I love it. I'll just go through some of these other ones. Yes,
I'm probably gonna cut off soon, only because I'm a detriment to everybody. Because my audio is terrible.
You're not a detriment. Just hit mute Mark until you're ready to talk.
I've listened to Dave the Dude.
Oh man, yeah, and then just Mark Grossman Kaner answered the bell. Probably go like maybe about 5 more minutes here. So Utah and Nashville are going to be next MLB expansion teams. It's going to happen in CBA 2026. That'll be interesting. Amanda Harris saying Devils fans are truly brutal. I hope this humbled them out a little. Russian goalies train like Ivan Drago in Siberia. Love it. Training montage, please, with the friggin' music from Rocky 5. Or Rocky 4, I should say. Mark, you're on mute, bud.
There it is. I don't understand why it took that long to get off that. But, Phil, yeah, I got to ask you, let me go a side tangent for a second. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is coming out next month. How juiced are you to see that?
I am going to lose my social life. The only thing that's going to stop me from playing this game is work and the playoffs, and that's it. But I am going to lose my social life, and I am totally okay with it. So I should probably just delete my dating app profiles when that game comes out,
or accentuate that you're playing it.
Yeah, it'll probably be better for me anyway. My dating life is probably worse than yours. So,
well, I mean, I got a girlfriend now. So,
you got a girlfriend now, so you got me beat. But like mine is probably worse than yours was beforehand. So, yeah,
well, it happens by chance because, after all, I don't know. Hold on, wait. I need to come over here, babe. Yeah. Phil, I'm sorry. I got to get her on here right now because just understand it could happen at any moment. Don't worry about it, and don't worry about anything. Just go. It'll be fine. But by the way, I've apologized. I've apologized to her. I've been like, babe, when Breath of the Wild comes out, I'm sorry if I'm distracted.
Yeah, I've already gotten an apology.
Yeah.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This is actually your first time meeting Maria, by the way.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
I can't wait till you actually see her at Kroger's.
Absolutely. We
yeah.
will make that happen very soon.
Yeah.
Mark goes, this is the
Yes,
family
please.
show.
Guys, I can't help it. I've had so much bad luck in dating. Now that I got good luck, I want to share it.
There you go, man. Happy for you both.
The best part is you see how embarrassed she is.
I'm very
Right there.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's great, though. You know what, though?
Right now. Dying.
It's great that the two of you can sit there and do this. And he could just embarrass the shit out of you, but it's good fun. It's a good vibe, and it's good times. It really is.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, the sad thing is I just realized both my earpieces are in. Maria can't hear a single word you say.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Not a fucking thing.
No, not a word.
Zero.
Not a word.
But
Use the language.
she still said hello to Phil.
I did.
Yeah.
And she did.
I'm
And
not rude.
she's a better guest than Mark.
Oh, she's a better guest than me. Well, I mean, she's quite beautiful, so that's
This is
really
great.
cool.
So these comments are amazing. These comments are amazing. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit with one of the comments. Happy for you, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. They're all making fun of me.
Love is a beautiful thing.
Tremendous.
This has taken an interesting turn. I think we are going to cut this short.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, because we have gone about almost an hour and 15 minutes. Usually we go about that time. So,
okay, but wait, Phil. So what do you think about the new trailer, Breath of the Wild 2? Tears of the Kingdom.
I just captivated by this game. And I know it's the same graphics, same engine. It's a lot of the same.
Who cares?
Story, but it's going to be an awesome, awesome game. I can't wait for this. They made us wait 6 years for this game. And this game is going to be worth the 6-year wait. I guarantee it. They're already talking about this as Game of the Year favorite.
Phil, I will say this. Romanelli, you're killing me. You're killing me, Romanelli. You're killing me. Phil, I will say this right now because you and I are both huge Zelda fans, and I think Ocarina is untouchable to me. This might be there.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that
sight unseen,
the way that this game has been laid out and the hype to it, the story, the new features, and the way that Eiji Aonuma talked about how like you can build things and kind of be creative and shape like what you want to do with the game. I just think it opens up so much that I think there's going to be a ton of replay value even after you beat a lot of the main quests and even the side quests. I think a lot of people are going to do a lot of like crazy, silly things with this game where, let me see how I can build this and that and do all these little different things that I think it's going to make the game that much better. I really do.
Yeah.
So, but thank you all for joining us. I appreciate all of you. We're down to 41 because Mark apparently scared everybody off between the audio and sounding like a spaceship. And then apparently the OnlyFans bid or something like that, as Romanello said.
And also, by the way, thanks for Phil for having me as a co-host tonight.
Yes,
because this is Phil's show. It doesn't matter what I do. Phil is the man
You know what? I love doing these, but I do like having someone else with me because I feel like it's like I'm not just shouting into air, which it kind of sounds like. So, I mean, it feels good to be talking to somebody on the broadcast with me. But, you know, Tomas saying good night and don't be naughty, Mark.
Don't be naughty. Don't be naughty.
Oh, but you know what? Honestly, I love, you know what? I wish we could get like the three of us could do like almost like how like they used to do ESPN or NHL Tonight. Like I wish we could do something like that with the three of us and get Anthony on too, because I think that would be awesome if we had our own little version of NHL Tonight. Like maybe just like here and there in the playoffs, you know?
I've been promising Anthony to do a studio show, and I gotta tell you, Felk, Anthony is the number one reason to do a studio show because our dogs barking and interruptions he might have. No wonder why Anthony might want to actually not do a studio show.
Well, I mean, if it was at a neutral site, like we off the post was a studio show, so we were good there. But it's a lot to do with that. And, you know, obviously the overhead's expensive, but you know, one day, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, my friend.
No, it wasn't.
So,
and you know what, Phil? Why don't you announce how many subscribers we have right now?
I would have to go look at the channel.
Just give a round. Just give a round number. Nobody cares.
I believe we are at 9,000.
We're 9,060 last I checked.
9,060. So we cracked the 9,000 mark. So thank you all for subscribing to us, dealing with us being madmen, and just listening to the ramblings of three insane hockey fans that love this sport more than anything. Thank you all. A lot of you guys have been with us since day one. So we really do appreciate all of you sticking with us. This is only going to grow and get better from here. And like I said, once we hit the 10,000 mark,
It's terrible on this podcast right now.
You know, we're going to do a lot of like giveaways and new content. I think after that,
we're going to do that for 10,000. Yes,
for 10,000, I think it's definitely a must. So I love the idea of doing that. And I hope you're all with us for that as well. So, again, thank you all for joining. We really do appreciate it. So, this comment's great, Mark. If you have your girlfriend on more, you will get another 9,000.
Well, I can't help it. She's prettier than me.
I mean, she is better looking than all of us. So, I mean, that goes without saying.
Nobody wants me on this team. Not one person.
And you hear that? You hear that?
Stop.
It's all lies.
One person
All lies.
on this podcast.
I disagree, hon. You had a comment during the trade deadline that made a lot of people laugh.
Yeah.
What was that?
Sorry, honey. He's taken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I do remember that. Yeah.
I regret that comment so much.
But yes, thank you all again. Appreciate it. I will let you two go. You guys have a great night. And everybody, let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.